This is Pyrocryptic X News. Billions offered and rejected as Ripple tried to swallow Circle. And Worldcoin is now scanning eyes right here in the US. What does this mean for XRP, XLM, HBAR, XDC, and the future of crypto? Let's jump in.
Pyrocryptic X News is on the air. It's May 1st, 2025, and we're here with the crypto headlines you absolutely need to know today.
That's right. We're cutting through the noise.
Straight to what matters for your portfolio. We've got Ripple's really bold play for Circle.
And Worldcoin, Sam Altman's project, finally launching here in the U.S.
Plus, a close look at SUI after its recent run-up is a pullback coming.
Let's get into it.
Okay, first topic, Ripple and XRP. News broke that they made a pretty stunning offer, maybe $4 to $5 billion, to buy Circle.
Yes, Circle, the company behind USDC, the stablecoin. That's a huge move.
It really is. Why? Well, Ripple's been looking beyond just cross-border payments for a while now.
Right. They launched their own stablecoin, RLUSD, which hinted at this, but...
But buying Circle, that would have been like hitting warp speed, wouldn't it?
Totally. Instant. Major player status in the stablecoin market. USDC is, what, tens of billions in circulation?
Exactly. Imagine merging Ripple's experience navigating regulations with Circle's, operational muscle and stablecoins.
That could have really reshaped things. Integrated finance solutions, leveraging Ripple's network to push USDC even further.
It speaks volumes about the power plays happening, doesn't it? Ripple wasn't just eyeing market share.
No, it feels more fundamental. Aiming for control, or at least major influence, over the actual rails of future digital money movement. A stablecoin like USDC is, well, pretty foundational for DeFi and broader adoption.
But interestingly, Circle reportedly said no, turned down potentially $5 billion.
Which makes you ask why, right? Especially with IPO talks swirling around Circle.
Valuation must be part of it. Maybe they think they're worth more, especially going public.
That, and maybe their long-term visions didn't perfectly align. Circle really pushes the open regulated stablecoin angle. Maybe that didn't quite mesh with Ripple's broader plans.
Plus, the regulatory headache. A merger that big.
Oh, definitely. Regulators worldwide would be all over that, especially now with everyone focused on stablecoins. That kind of scrutiny, potential delays,
yeah.
It could be a huge deterrent.
So, Circle's sticking to its own path, aiming to be the standard for dollar-backed digital currency. Makes sense.
Seems like it. Okay, let's shift gears. Worldcoin.
Right. Officially launched in the U.S. today. This is the Sam Altman-backed crypto.
Pulling with the orbs.
The very same. Scanning irises to verify you're, you, a human.
The core idea, World ID, is fascinating. Proving humanness online. With AI getting so good.
It's becoming critical, isn't it? How do you tell human from bot or AI?
Exactly. And Altman's involvement, given OpenAI, really highlights how serious this challenge is becoming. They're aiming for a decentralized, maybe privacy-preserving way to do this.
And they're incentivizing it. Get scanned by an orb, get some WLD tokens, about 16 WLD initially, I think.
Yeah, and for US users already in the app, there's a pioneer grant of 150 WLD.
They're also trying to make it usable, partnering with Visa for a debit card.
So you can actually spend your WLD like normal money, converts it at the point of sale.
Altman's even talked about this bigger vision, like Worldcoin maybe becoming a form of UBI someday.
That's the long-term, very ambitious goal, yeah. Tied to AI potentially displacing jobs. But for now,
the U.S. launch is huge. Even with some states like New York excluded, it suggests maybe the regulatory environment is becoming a bit more, shall we say, accommodating?
It seems that way. Despite the controversies, the questions around collecting biometric data.
Which are definitely valid concerns.
Absolutely. But they've onboarded, what, over 12 million people already? In over 100 countries?
The WLD token price has been up and down, pretty volatile since launch.
As you'd expect. But this U.S. entry is a major step for their goal of a global digital ID.
It really puts the question to you, the listener, doesn't it? How do you balance that potential utility, proving you're human online, against the privacy side of things?
It's a trade-off, and one we'll be debating a lot more as AI advances. Okay, finally, let's look at SUI, ticker SUI.
Right. It had a fantastic run, up about 75%. But now the charts are suggesting maybe it needs to take a breather.
Yeah, potential pullback. It's pretty normal, actually.
Yeah.
Even strong uptrends need to consolidate.
So what are the indicators saying?
Well, it hit a key resistance level. The price ran up to where it met the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, which also happened to be near the top of its recent trading range. That's often a spot where buyers pause and sellers step in.
Okay, a natural ceiling, for now at least.
Kinda. And there was also what's called a swing failure pattern there. price poked above resistance, then fell back quickly. That can trap people who bought the breakout and suggest buying power wasn't strong enough to sustain those higher levels.
So if it does pull back, where might it find support? What levels should people watch?
The key zone looks to be between roughly $2.70 and $2.40.
Why that range specifically?
It lines up with a couple of things. It's around the middle of that recent trading range, and it's also near the volume-weighted average price, the VWAP, which often acts as a sort of magnetic level for price.
Right. So a drop to that $2.40 area could actually be healthy.
Potentially, yes. It could allow it to form a higher low, basically, finding support above its previous low point. That's a classic sign. An uptrend might be ready to continue. It could set the stage for the next big push higher, maybe what technicians call a wave 3 expansion.
Interesting. Anything else technically?
Trading volume also seemed to decrease a bit during the last part of the rally, which can sometimes signal weakening momentum, exhaustion. For now, it seems to be sort of bouncing around in that $2.70 to $2.40 range.
So the key is whether it holds that support.
Exactly. A solid bounce off that $2.70, $2.40 zone would be bullish, suggesting the next leg up is coming. On the other hand, if it breaks decisively above the recent highs, especially with strong volume, that would kind of cancel out the pullback idea for now.
Okay, got it. That wraps up our Pyrocryptic X News Market Briefing for today, May 1st, 2025.
We hit Ripple's ambitious bid for Circle and what that means for stablecoins.
The U.S. arrival of Worldcoin, with its unique eye-scanning ID system.
And the technical picture for SUI, suggesting a possible consolidation before any next move up.
Remember, the crypto market doesn't stand still. You need to stay vigilant.
Keep an eye on these stories. How does the Ripple Circle situation evolve? What about XRP's price?
How available will WLD become in the U.S. and how will people react?
And for SUI, watch that key support range, $2.70 down to $2.40.
Think about the bigger picture, too. Ripple wanting stablecoin dominance, Worldcoin's vision of proving humanness in an AI world,
and the simple fact that even strong crypto rallies have pullbacks. It's the nature of the market.
These stories are just getting started. What's Ripple's next move? Will the U.S. embrace Worldcoin's orbs?
And will SUI find support for another climb? These are the questions to keep front of mind.
Stay informed, stay sharp. We'll be back with more updates.
That's it for today on Pyrocryptic X News. Stay sharp, stay informed, and catch the next drop right here.